Picture this, it's 2 a.m., you hear a bump in the night. You reach over to your bedside table, this is the only flashlight you have. Dimmer than a gas station glow stick. Sound like a nightmare? That's because it is. A reliable weapon-mounted light can mean the difference between confidence and chaos in a critical moment. Today, we're breaking down the best pistol lights for your pistol or rifle. We got Surefire, Streamlight, Cloud Defensive, Enforce. We're gonna hit just about all of them. Though I'm pretty sure you're gonna let me know down in the comments if I missed your favorite light brand. Whether you're defending your home on duty or getting ready to defeat zombies in the middle of the night, this is your one-stop shop for everything related to weapon-mounted lights. Fun fact, about half the time it's gonna be dark out there, and bad guys love the night. A weapon-mounted light lets you ID threats, control situations, and stay safe without fumbling in your pocket during a high-threat situation. Lumens, Candela, beam patterns, and real-world performance. We're gonna arm you with the knowledge on this one, not just the gear. So, what's a WML, or a weapon-mounted light? Guys, basically it's just a flashlight bolted to your firearm. Back in the day, this came in the form of duct taping a mag light to the end of your M16A2 or permanently mounting it to the top rail of your MP5 if you were a cool guy. Regardless of the type, they're designed to illuminate your target or surroundings in low light situations, and they can be used to momentarily blind and distract a bad guy or your cameraman. I know there's a lot of debate online about if you should even have a weapon-mounted light. We're not gonna enter into that space, and I'm not gonna stand here and try to say that I know more than Ken Hackathorn or Masad Ayub. Both of those dudes have probably forgotten more about guns than I know right now. And there's positives and negatives on both sides of that discussion. But if you're gonna own a pocket, son, because it's 2025 and you can do that now, you should know how to use it. Always train with the tools that you're gonna carry, and I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. When it comes to handheld flashlights, I think they're great. They're great for finding your keys, looking for something you dropped in the parking lot, or any of the other 1,000 situations you might need a flashlight for. Pairing it with a handgun, however, requires a whole host of new training and one of a multitude of old school techniques like the neck index or the FBI technique. And that's gonna put us into a whole other debate that's gonna derail this discussion completely. Point blank, a weapon-mounted light is gonna keep both hands on your firearm for better control, and it's going to align your light with your aim. Also, it's not gonna get left in your range belt or in a different pair of pants. Think of it like this. It's the difference between a backup singer and your lead vocalist. In most defensive situations, you're gonna want a weapon-mounted light if the lights are out. Let's pivot and meet the heavy hitters in the weapon light world. We've got premium powerhouses down to super budget-friendly options here on the table, and we're gonna cover Surefire, Streamlight, Cloud Defensive, Enforce, Olight, Modlight, and even UTG. Guys, here's our top picks for those brands. I know you're gonna let us know down in the comments if we missed your favorite, so go ahead, it's down there and I'll see you. First up, Surefire. I mean, they're Surefire, guys, come on. They're the gold standard. They're trusted by military and law enforcement worldwide. Surefire is like the Glock of weapon lights. You've got the X300U and the X300 Turbo for duty pistols, and the Scout Pro dominating in rifle lines. Their rugged aluminum and ambidextrous switches, plus their holster compatibility, make them absolute legends in this space. But when it comes to value, there's only one king, and that's Streamlight. They're issued to thousands of cops, and the TLR7 is an EDC staple, with the ProTac HLX being one of the most seen flashlights on Instagram for a reason. They're affordable, they're reliable, and they're so widespread that you'd be hard-pressed to find a holster company that doesn't work with TLR7. Now for the new kids on the block, Cloud Defensive. These guys are the Candela champs in the rifle game. The Rhyme 2 and 3 are up to 100,000 Candela, making them a sun on a stick. They also have super slick cable management and a fail-safe cap, making them perfect for patrol and tactical use. Their stuff's a bit proprietary, but they've been gaining a lot of popularity over the past few years because their lights are just so bright. For ergonomics, you can't go wrong with Enforce. They're lightweight and compact. The Wild 1 is an aluminum pistol light with a tight hotspot, while the WMLX Gen 2 suits weight-conscious rifle setups that might not have a lot of rail space for extra pressure switches and cable management. They're perfect for your minimalist builds. If hand grenades are your thing, if being budget conscious is your thing, Olight might be for you. The PL Pro has a wide flood and a magnetic charging situation, but it tends to struggle with the runtime as a result. These guys have taken some chances over the years and come up with some pretty cool innovations, but those innovations haven't always lended themselves to being great for their holster compatibility, so keep that in mind if Olight's your choice. Now, we got an oldie but a goldie, guys, here. Nightstick has been around since the 1980s. They're an underdog in the weapon-mounted light space, but the TWM850XL offers a long runtime but slightly lower output. They're solid for basic needs, and they're a great budget choice too, guys. For the most part, these are the guys we're going to be talking about today. Each has their strengths, but which one's right for you? Well, we're going to have to get a lot deeper into this subject, so stick with me. Don't head down to the comments to tell me that I have forgotten your favorite light just yet. We're gonna get there. Okay, nerd time. First up, Lumens vs Candela. Lumens measure total light output. Think about how much of the glow fills a room. Candela measures the intensity. That's how far the light punches out. Yeah, that's how far the light punches out and goes to work. All right, example time. The Surefire Mini Scout has 650 lumens but 95,000 Candela. It's blasting far. Streamlight's ProTech has 1,000 lumens spread wide, but only hits 18,200 Candela, reducing the distance of that throw. For thread ID at 100 feet, Candela is the MVP. Beam patterns are next. The floodlight bathes a space in light. It's perfect for room clearing. Thrower spotlights punch to a target to ID a threat at a distance. The Surefire X300U's hybrid beam balances both, but Enforce's Wild 2 sacrifices the flood for a laser-focused hotspot instead. Long story short, indoors, you're gonna wanna go flood and illuminate the whole space. Outdoors, prioritize your throw so you can easily identify your target. Some lights can be adjusted, so just make sure you check the manual and familiarize yourself with the light that you select so that you understand how your gear works. This is gonna be critical, guys. Next, we're gonna talk about mounting systems. They're gonna matter a lot. Surefire Scout Pro swivels and hugs your rifle's rail system, or M-LOK. It minimizes snags and affords you room to adjust around other equipment like an IR laser. Streamlight's TLR1 HL clamp goes onto Picatinny rails or M-LOK, and the ProTech HLX includes a pressure pad. Cloud Defense's Rhine has internal cable management to keep your rifle looking drippy while you're on Instagram. There's a lot of options out there, guys. Make sure you're doing a bit of due diligence and individual research here when you're making a light purchase. It's pretty easy to make a mistake, and the one thing you definitely want to avoid is getting your new TLR7 and having it fly off of your P365 the first time you shoot it because you didn't change out the rail adapter system. Trust me on this. I'm speaking from experience. Ask yourself these questions. What kind of mounting system is on the weapon? Does the manufacturer say that this system is compatible with the mounting system I'm using? Back that up with one last thing, guys. Is there an adapter that's sold separately? Go check places like Reddit, check reviews online, look in the Amazon reviews, and make sure that if there is an adapter that's sold separately, you find out beforehand. That way you're not trying to mount a weapon-mounted light onto a rail system that it's not compatible with. Next, we're going to talk about durability. It's non-negotiable. Unfortunately, most weapon lights are made with duty use in mind. This lends most of the major players to having some kind of IPX waterproof rating. The higher the number after the letters IPX, the better the waterproofing rating. Surefire and Streamlight's duty lights are usually sitting at around an IPX7, meaning their lights can sit in 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes before there's an issue. That said, it's not uncommon to see some lights hitting around IPX4 on the waterproofing scale. That means they're good to go in the rain, but maybe try not to fall into a lake or river with your light. One thing that's also worth talking about here is what the light bodies themselves are actually made of. With all of our major players, there's two common themes in the build makeup. Most weapon lights are made from 6061 T6 aluminum with some type of mil-spec anodization. That makes them pretty strong. If the light isn't made from this, we're probably talking about some sort of glass reinforced nylon for the makeup of the light body itself. Some of your more budget-friendly options may simply state that they use an aluminum alloy in the manufacture of their lights. So make sure you're checking for that because it might be a red flag for you. Switches. How do I turn my flashlight on? Guys, these can make or break a WML for anyone. If you can't easily actuate your light without maintaining positive control of the weapon, it kind of defeats the purpose of mounting the light on your weapon in the first place. With rifles, you really have two primary systems. First, you have press-in tail caps. To actuate this system, you're going to want to mount the light in a way that allows you to utilize your thumb to press in the light with very little manipulation. In my opinion, this is where the form factor of the Enforce light really shines. These things are basically designed to be activated without any additional systems or changes to your rifle setup. This, however, isn't always ideal, which is why you see a lot of guys have started using pressure switches to activate the rifle-mounted lights. If you go this route, make sure you're prepared to do a little extra cable management just to keep everything snag-free later down the road. On pistols, guys, there's a variety of different systems, and in my opinion, they're honestly all pretty good. They're gonna come down to user preference. For me, I personally prefer the rocker systems that you're gonna find in the Streamlight TLR1 and the Surefire X300 line of lights. But the smaller the light form factor gets, the more compact the switch for the light is gonna have to become. Here's where you're gonna start seeing paddle systems like on the TLR7 sub and the Inforce Wild one. And also you're gonna start finding press buttons like on the TLR6. Whatever you end up on here, this is the one thing I want you to figure out as soon as you unpack your light. What type of switch do you use, and how do my buttons actually function? We're pretty deep in this one here, guys, so hang in with me. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about batteries, though. Hopefully yours aren't running on empty just yet. Reality check time. It doesn't matter how much you spend on your flashlight. The battery is the lifeblood of the entire system. If your light isn't using a solid battery source, your light isn't gonna function. That's kind of how electricity works. Most of your solid weapon-mounted lights are gonna use CR123 or CR123A batteries. These have a 10-year shelf life, and they're pretty easy to swap out when you're in the field. In my opinion, you should always try to run with CR123A batteries, as the CR123 batteries just simply don't last as long. This is because CR123A batteries are 1700 milliampere hours versus the 1500 mAh of the regular CR123 systems. Surefire and Streamlight both sell their own branded batteries, but we're not going to talk about what brand of battery makes your bass guitar sound the most drippy today. Pick the battery that's the best deal for you at the time. Rechargeable lithium-ion batteries in the 18650 format are also pretty common for flashlight batteries. These are going to be longer batteries, and they're going to have around 3500 mAh. The fact that these are rechargeable make them pretty attractive to guys that are running their lights a lot, because the cash savings here, you just really can't beat it. Last, and unfortunately my least favorite here, is the magnetic USB rechargeable flashlights. Initially, guys, I really wanted to love these. I really did. There's nothing better than being able to toss your handgun on a little magnetic charger in your vehicle or at the range. But here's my personal beef with them. These lights need to be magnetically connected to a charger at almost all times, because after about 25 minutes of use, you're gonna start to see serious performance degradation in the light. And you know, if you're watching this video 10 years from now, I hope that's not the case. I hope you're able to leave a comment telling me I'm a stupid boomer, but today in 2025, these lights just aren't where they need to be yet, so it's not something I personally recommend. Okay, now let's bring all of these lights to the real world for a second. For self-defense, a pistol light like the Streamlight TLR7 sub is a compact and great everyday carry light. It's got a wide flood and a tight spot to find the intruder, who's probably just your cat knocking things off the kitchen counter again anyways, but it also has holster compatibility, which is key. The TLR7 is one of the most common EDC lights on the market today, so you're gonna have absolutely zero issues finding a match. The Wild 1 and 2 from Inforce are also solid everyday carry options, and I know Surefire also just came out with the new XC3 that actually matches up with the TLR7 footprint for all of your holster compatibility needs. Now, law enforcement and duty work demands intense durability. You want a light that's going to survive a gunfight in a phone booth. Surefire's X300 and the Scout Pro are agency favorites for a reason. They have a never-fail aluminum body, and let's be honest, they're just widespread. You've also got Cloud Defensive Rhine with 100,000 candelas. It's no slouch. They offer intensely competitive Leo discounts as well, so that's something you should look at. Now, the Streamlight TLR1 and the ProTac are also budget-friendly cop staples for you guys in smaller departments with shoestring budgets, so don't sleep on them either. Now, for my tactical users, think night vision, dudes with quad nods and air support flying overhead for a hard knock in the middle of bad guy country. You know, the kind of guys that are in an office with moving walls and their budget is sideways 8 when it comes to buying equipment. I'm gonna have to recommend the Surefire Scout Pro Vampire. If you're a budget conscious guy though, maybe a little bit more low speed that needs AR capability because you're just getting into night vision, I'm looking at you guys that are out in the range with night vision training, I see you. I'm gonna have to recognize either spending the money on a Surefire or getting one of the Inforce lights that has IR capabilities. They're actually pretty solid. But no matter who you are or what light you pick, you've gotta get out and train with your light, guys. Practice with dry fire, master your switches. Every time you depress the switch, you should know exactly what your light's gonna do. Heck, try some late night force on force with some airsoft guys and learn about light discipline so you don't blind yourself on a white wall. And then sign up for some low light range sessions so you can figure out exactly what's gonna happen when you pull the trigger while your light's on. Choosing the right weapon mounted light starts with finding your needs specifically. First, I want you to identify your budget and be realistic with yourself. It's okay to rock your pocket flashlight for a few weeks while you save some cash if you're the average EDC user. The last thing you want to do is get caught up in gear acquisition syndrome and end up with a pile of flashlights that you can't use because they're no good. Next, identify your needs. What are you buying this light for? Is this flashlight for your EDC pistol that you're going to be carrying all the time? Or are you just getting into night vision and looking for something IR capable to enhance your capabilities in no light shooting? There's different strokes for different folks here. Everyone's needs are going to be a little different, so figure out what yours are and make your purchase decision based on that. I want to add in one more thing. Warranty is king. Fortunately, in the light world, a lifetime warranty for the original owner with manufacturer defects is almost guaranteed. You should use this as a gauge when you're looking at the lesser known brands. If a brand won't stand behind their weapon light with a solid warranty, why should you stand behind it when your life's on the line? One more thing for you guys shopping with pistol lights. Don't forget about holster compatibility. The TLR7 is an available option on almost every holster manufacturer's website, and there is a reason that the new Surefire XC3 was made with the same footprint as the TLR7. If you're buying a lesser known brand weapon light, you might run into issues finding a light compatible holster for your handgun. Make sure you do a bit of research ahead of time. A weapon mounted light isn't just a piece of gear. It's the difference between hesitation and control when the world goes dark. Guys, you've got options for every fight, so pick the one that's going to have your back at 2 a.m. What's your current favorite weapon light? Drop it down in the comments. Next up, I think we have CJ talking about his favorite EDC pistol.